Hey guys, my name is Dylan Hong, and I'm starting this video off with a question. Can a cheap drone or quadcopter from China be any good? And hopefully by the end of this video we'll have an answer. I have no idea how this is gonna go. I just ordered this from China. I got here today, and let's see how it goes. So I'm gonna start opening this right now, and it's the H8C model, whatever that means. It's I found it on a cheap Chinese website that sells a lot of these types of gadgets. And here we go. I hope I can get it open. And here it is. It's 4 channels, 4 axes, 360-degree localization, hovering. Basically what it promises is that it's gonna be really good, and that I don't know. I've heard that the motors can burn out really easily, which I really hope doesn't happen. But I'm just gonna start opening this up and let's see how it looks. The packaging is already noticeably pretty bad. It's all bent. That's probably from travel, but so I guess I opened it upside down. I don't know. Alright, so let's flip this over, and I mean, cheap plastic, but could be worse. It's pretty small, but then again, looking on Amazon for like American brands or American sellers with a craft of this size, it's probably gonna cost you around $100+. 70, 100. I need to get some batteries for this, or extra propellers, which is nice. Some gear, some like propeller guards and landing gear. And this should be the battery and charger. Maybe the battery's already in here. Yeah, battery's already in. I actually bought some extra batteries off Amazon. They're like $10 each, maybe a little bit more. Because the flight time's around like 8 or 10 minutes, and that's not gonna cut it if I actually want to enjoy myself with this. Oh, so I just noticed that I live in the US, and this is not gonna charge. I'm gonna have to see if I have an adapter somewhere. So I'm back, and I found this guy, very luckily. So I am going to do that, and I think this should be good. Yeah, so that's one thing to look out for that I really did not think about. They have different outlets, and I guess try to make sure the charger you're gonna get is compatible, because this was the first time I had heard anything or saw anything about them being different, which is kind of troubling. But one of them is charging now, which is good, and I'll put the other ones up once they're done. So for the first flight, I'm going to definitely want the landing guard and the propeller guards as well. So I'm going to assemble those. Alright, so they have little pegs that they slip into, and I guess you can use a screwdriver. You know, I really feel like these could be a little bit easier to put on, but I guess that's not a huge deal. Thinking something could snap on or whatever. Now I'm getting the landing gear on. I don't really want to screw these in too tight, because I'm probably going to want to take them off eventually, but yeah, it's sturdy enough. So the entire thing is extremely light. I mean, there's some LEDs up front, there and back and sides, there are LEDs everywhere. But the plastic is not high quality plastic, it's very, very thin. And some would probably say that's so it actually flies. But I think if they had put a little more money into getting nicer motors for the propellers, it would probably feel much nicer as a product in general. But once again, we'll see if that decision on their part pays off and how it flies and how long it lasts. So there, it's fully assembled. There are instructions here. I guess I should read those. So while this is charging and all, I thought it'd be nice to talk about everything else about the quadcopter. So here's the remote. It makes an obnoxiously loud beeping noise whenever you do anything like turn it off, on. There's like, yeah, it's loud. I know a lot of actual quadcopter remotes make noises, but this seems excessive. So it's got a little monitor here that will show you how much you're tilting it and show you basically how much you're trimming the quadcopter. Trimming is when you're just putting it up and it's still tilting one way or the other, and it's like counterbalancing that. So that's kind of cool. So the price for this quadcopter was about $50, and based on what I've seen off previous research in like Amazon and stuff, there are a few for $70 that look actually very similar. Shipping time will still probably take forever. This thing took over 2 weeks to get to me, and that's with expedited shipping. I do highly suggest you read the instructions if you get one, but a lot of them are kind of funky. They clearly don't know English, and that kind of makes it a little difficult. But every single button on this remote, I don't know if you can see it, every single one has a function, and I'm gonna have to memorize these. And then on top of that, there's actually a new player's mode where it's a different button layout with different feelings, which I guess is really good if you've never flown anything before, but it's just another set of operations to remember. Hey guys, so I'm back with the charged battery. It took about 30 minutes, maybe a little more, to get completely charged where the light turned green. And this is going to be my first fly, so I have to look through the instructions, but I read something about having to put the switch all the way down, then up, then down again, then hearing a beep, and we'll see. There's a lot of crazy stuff. So, okay, so you can tell where the front is by the color of the lights. So red is back, white is front. I'm going to turn this on, flip the switch all the way up, then all the way down. The lights, alright. And let's see some of these controls. I know most of it's just forward, back, left, right, and turn. Alright, let's just try to have it go up. Alright, rough landing, but it's actually pretty controllable. It's not perfect, it doesn't hover right in place when you let go of the controls, but it's not bad from what I've seen. My first impressions with just playing with it for a few minutes was actually that it's pretty nice. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about how long it's going to last yet, but it didn't feel ridiculously difficult to maneuver. The sensors might not have always been on point, like it started tilting even after trimming and it would get off trim, but for the most part, $50 for that thing's not bad. Alright, so now I got it fully charged and I thought I might bring it outside to see what it can really do. So here it goes. I'm gonna finally get to try out that 3D mode. I looked on the instruction manual and it's actually just doing a flip. So let's see how that works. Looks like the battery's already running out.
Buddies are using those things out to video them wakeboarding.
Yeah, that's cool. Those are like really nice ones. I gotta see some of those.
They run. One person runs the camera and one person runs the
Yeah,
run.
pretty cool. And so now the battery's dead, which is fun. So I'm back inside and I finished testing the quad, and it's fun, and I think it's good for things to be fun and simple to get into. It's a good introduction to Quadcopter, but there are a few problems that really get in the way of this being a really good quadcopter. First of all, it does not perform well outside. The sensors that are trying to stabilize it like jitter all the time, and it's overall okay. It doesn't get in the way too much, But when you're really trying to just like land somewhere or go up in a straight line or hover, you can really feel its effect. There are some cool things about it. I mean, it's easy to pick up and use. It can do the flip, which will impress everybody, and the lights are a nice touch. But its abysmal battery life is one of the things that just really makes this something that is not necessarily worth it. But the battery life on this thing is an average about 6 minutes, I think, after a full charge. And 6 minutes is not a lot of time at all. I had 3 batteries and they were just all gone within a blink of an eye. It was so quick. So if you want to be flying your quad for any more than just a few minutes at a time, I think it's really important that you either get a lot of batteries for this guy or spend a little bit more to get a nicer quad. So my final review for this would probably be a 3 out of 5 would buy again. It's fun, it's light, it's cheap, and it's easy to learn, but it's got pretty bad battery life and it's not the most satisfying flying experience. And to answer the question of is getting a cheap quad worth it, if you have $50 or $60 to spend and you're okay with waiting for a long time, I'd say go for it. If you're really going to be serious about it, I'd say save up for something a bit better. My name is Dylan Hong, and this has been an unboxing and review of a cheap quadcopter from China. Thanks for watching.
Like and subscribe. It warms my soul.